Hello and welcome everyone to today's Yin Yoga session where we will primarily focus on releasing the hips and the lower back. It might help you to have a bolster and a couple of blocks. Alternately, you could grab a few pillows or a rolled up duvet and a couple of big books. We will be holding the poses for between 1 and 3 minutes. I am the biggest fidget when it comes to yin. I am very impatient, and if you find that that's you too, be gentle, be kind with yourself, take a nice deep breath, be patient, and as long as you are not in any pain, see if you can hold each pose for the time that we are there. There'll be little bits of movement in between the poses, just coming in and out, finding that sense of comfort and relief, which is something that we should be aiming towards anyway in all of our yoga practice, that balance between steadiness and ease. So I'll give you a minute to go find your props and then you can meet me at the back of the mat. So at the back of the mat, we are coming straight into a supported child's pose, and you want your knees to be wide enough here for there to be space for your belly, for all of your soft bits to be comfortable. And then we're folding into our bolster, having a moment to fidget a little bit, finding the most comfortable place to be, maybe even turning the head to one side. And then we're going to stay, taking some nice slow breaths, letting the body settle. Breathing in and breathing out, letting yourself empty completely with that breath out. As we're coming up to halfway, you might want to turn your head to the other side. And again, taking that nice full breath in. Emptying completely with that breath out. Taking your time to check in with any sensations in the body, feelings of warmth, pressure, gravity, opening, relaxation. Allowing whatever is emerging simply to be, as you notice, without judging, without critique, without preference. learning to stay with whatever is present. Counting your next 3 slow breaths. Beginning to shift up onto hands and knees. Finding some free movement here, some flexion and extension through the neck and the spine. Shifting the weight forward. Rocking forward and back. And then we're just going to roll the bolster out to one side. We're going to find our blocks and set them up at the front of the mat. We're coming into a lunge now with the right leg forward, stepping it between the hands. You get it up there any way that you can. And we're just keeping the chest a little bit up right here. So hands on the blocks, taking some time just to shift the weight. Finding a nice easy place for the joints to stack. Giving the weight of the body over to gravity, to the support of the skeleton, the inner ground of your bones. Letting go of needing to effort quite so much. Allowing yourself to yield. And again, observing any emerging sensations. Adjusting for any pain or discomfort. But distinguishing between discomfort and merely the intensifying of sensation that happens when we stay. When we are still. Finding the breath. And you can either stay low here or shifting slightly. Bring your hands up onto that front thigh. Roll the shoulders. Let there be some space in the armpits. If the eyes are open, finding a soft point of focus for your gaze, your drishti, and counting 3 slow breaths. Making this next breath in that little bit deeper. Bring your hands back to your blocks. Shift your weight slowly back out of your lunge, and you can rock between the lunge and that half split, bringing back a little bit of movement to the hips. Placing your blocks aside, you're going to sink your weight back, send that right leg out to the side, and you're going to tuck your left foot, which was your back foot, into your groin. So we're going to come into a half straddle, taking a moment to lift the chest tall. We're leaning out of the hips here, hands finding the floor, finding a little extension as we start, and then dipping the elbows, letting the spine round. Maybe you come down onto the elbows. Give the head to gravity. Let the chin curl into the chest. After a few breaths, you might find that you're able to start to drop a little deeper. Maybe walking those fingers forward. Noticing what's happening with the head. Can you give it to gravity once more? Letting go through the back of the neck. And we stay for about a minute more. Noticing those sensations as they arise. Noticing any story or narrative. Any emotions that are stirred up for you as we do these long holds. Can you stay? Can you witness? Can you hold yourself with unconditional positive regard? Walking up slowly, we're going to swing that long leg round behind, so we come to this figure 4 position, and you're going to bring your bolster just alongside that left hip, turning to the side. We're going to bring the fingertips of the right hand round onto the shoulder and bring the gaze back to the elbow as we sink that hip and twist round, and then still keeping the gaze on the elbow, coming round to the left, round to the right, round to the left. Sinking the hip, coming round to the right, twisting round to the left, keeping the breath nice and smooth and even. Keep going. And then the next time you come around to the left side, we're going to walk our hands along our bolster and just fold here. Resting the head in any comfortable position. And after some time of being here, you might find that you are able to maybe twist a little more, drop a little deeper, follow the body's urges towards rest and surrender. Noticing where you might be able to soften that little bit more. Counting 3 slow breaths. Waiting for that next breath in as we start to lift away from the floor, walking yourself along your bolster, shifting your weight. We're going to swing that back leg around, coming through this semi sort of lunge. We're going to pull the bolster through and set up for sleeping swan here. So this is your kind of pigeon shape, shin moving towards parallel with the top of the mat if that feels comfy for you. I like to use my blocks here just to give myself that little bit of lift, a little bit of height. So we're going to spend the first minute here lifting up and out of the hips, lifting up and out of the floor. Finding your breath. Being okay with whatever is present. Allowing it to be. As we come down into our sleeping swan, folding towards the floor. And again, giving the head to gravity. stay. After a while, you might find that you're able to move a little bit deeper into the pose. Staying mindful, staying present. You are the witness to your unfolding experience. Stay kind. You deserve your own kindness. Three more big breaths. Waiting for that next inhale, walking yourself up again. We're going to swing that back leg, that's the left leg, round. Taking a nice easy cross-legged seat. We've got the left shin crossed in front of the right. We're going to take a seated twist here. Big breath in, reaching the arms up past the head, palms touch, and twisting round, bringing that left hand over onto your right knee. Inhale, returning to center, reaching the arms back up. Exhale, twisting to that same side. Inhale, returning to center, reaching up, fingertips touch. Exhale, we're coming round and we're holding. We're only staying for a minute and a half maybe in our twist. It might be nice to take some small, slow nods of the head or some semicircular neck rolls, whatever feels good. Perhaps even leaning back a little, giving your low back more space. Connecting again with each breath. One more big breath in. And as we exhale, we're coming out of our twist. Inhaling, returning to center. Bringing your hands onto your knees. Just have a little shimmy side to side. We're coming off of our bolster. And we are going to transition now into that lunge with the left leg forward, finding your blocks. Beginning by shifting the weight forward and back a little, maybe making some hip circles, some figure eights. Again, find what feels good here. then we get ready to stay. Connecting with the breath. Opening the attention to your internal world of sensation, emotion, imagination, and narrative. Witnessing without judgment, without critique, without preference. Holding yourself gently. You can stay low, or if you are ready, you can bring both hands up onto that front thigh. If the sensation and the narrative become particularly intense or overwhelming here, you are more than welcome to drop down into that lower position. The invitation is to stay and to see and to hold yourself with that unconditional positive regard, that inner witnessing. Remember to breathe. Counting 3 more breaths. Slowly shifting out. Pivot and bring that right heel into the left groin as we extend the left leg, setting up for our half straddle. Plenty of space for the belly. Extending through the spine, lifting the hips. Maybe moving any soft folds of belly out of the way. Slowly coming into that fold. One elbow at a time. Dipping and twisting. Glancing over the opposite shoulder. Feels so good. When you're ready, we take that fold, we give the head to gravity, we bow the head to the heart. Breathing in Perhaps finding a little bit more depth. And again, letting go through the back of the neck. Letting go. Letting go. Waiting for that next breath in to walk yourself up. Swing that back leg around. Bring your bolster now to the outside of your right hip. Bring your left fingertips across onto your right shoulder. Fix your gaze onto your elbow. And as we sink the hip and twist around to the left, and then to the right, round to the left, and then to the right. Keeping that elbow lifted away from the chest, keeping your gaze nice and soft. Once more time around. And we walk our hands along the length of our bolster. Let's take that fold, resting the forehead anywhere that feels most comfortable. And we are going to be here for a little over 3 minutes. Coming up to the halfway point, you might notice yourself being able to yield a little more into your bolster, into the floor, surrendering the body to gravity and the ground. Reconnecting with the breath. Counting your next 3 slow breaths. Walking yourself up on an inhale. We're going to swing that back leg round. We're setting up for pigeon again, so find your bolster. Bring it between your legs.
walking that front foot now across to the side of your mat. And you can be up on your blocks or up on your fingertips here. We stay for a minute, finding that life and lift out of the hips, out of the floor. There might even be a gentle drawing of the legs towards each other, as though they're a stiff pair of scissors that you're trying to close. And then we're going to start to fold, walking the hands forward, maybe dropping onto the elbows, maybe resting the forehead down. Being with whatever arises in this moment. Sensation, memory, stored narrative, old stories, pictures in the imagination. Notice without judgment, without critique, without preference. You are the witness. Hold yourself gently and remember to breathe. Let the breath anchor you to this moment, unfolding, brand new, irretrievable, irrepeatable. Coming up on an inhale, we're going to swing that back leg round, sitting crisscross with the left leg in front of the right. Adjust whatever needs adjusting. Let's be super comfortable. We're going to wait for a big breath in to reach the arms up past the head. And we're bringing that right hand round onto the left knee. Inhaling back to center, fingertips touch as we reach up. Exhaling round to the left side. Inhaling, returning to center, reaching the arms up past the head. Exhaling to twist. And we're going to hold. Resisting the urge to crank yourself round. Maybe you lean back, making some space for your low back. Maybe fingertips find the floor or a block. And maybe it feels good to nod the head or take those slow rolls. And again, we're only staying for a minute or so on this side. Take a breath. Inhale, returning to center, reaching the arms up past the head, interlace the fingers, flip the palms and press the ceiling away. Releasing the hands here. Scoot your bottom forward. Spin your bolster out long ways. We're going to come into a Supta Baddha Konasana here. And I'm using my blocks just to support my thighs. You can support your knees. Also find a comfortable position. Adjust your hair, your clothes, your posture. And letting go. This is our final pose of the session. I sometimes really like this one as an alternative to Shavasana. We are going to be here for a full 3 minutes, if not a little longer. You are more than welcome to stay longer or move into a Shavasana at the end if you would like. But for now, letting your breath recede into its natural rhythm. Letting the attention rest on the tide of that natural, effortless breath. Allowing the sounds around you to surface and then dissolve back into that sea of silence. Allowing yourself to simply be. Making your next breath in that little bit deeper as we start to wiggle the fingers, circle the wrists and elbows. Exploring the space around. Taking a big reach of the arms up past the head. Interlacing the fingers, flipping the palms and pressing the back wall away. Bringing the knees together, moving your props to one side. We're going to roll sideways off the bolster into a nice easy recovery position. Rising slowly out of the floor into a comfortable, easy seat. Folding the hands into prayer. Bowing the head. Thank you for joining me today. Om Shanti, Shanti peace. Namaste.